All right, let's talk about something we all see but maybe don't think about too much. The pills we take. We're going to crack open the super cool science that lets some of them work their magic all day long from just one dose.
I mean, have you ever really thought about that? It's a fantastic question. And the answer? Well, it's all about avoiding what's basically a roller coaster inside your body and instead finding that perfect, steady, sweet spot. Okay, so to really get this, let's first look at the old school way of doing things. What happens when you pop a totally standard, regular pill?
Think of it like this. It's a total flash flood of medicine. Boom! It hits your system all at once. And you can see it right here in this graph. That jagged line shows exactly what's happening. The drug levels in your body skyrocket, and then they just plummet. And this happens over and over and over with every single pill you take.
So what's the big deal? Well, those super high peaks, that's when you can get into trouble. The drug levels can actually become toxic, and that's where a lot of nasty side effects come from. And the valleys, the low points, that's even worse in a way. The medicine literally stops working. It drops below the level where it can do any good. It's just a really, really inefficient way to deliver medicine.
You can see how this whole roller coaster thing causes some major headaches, right? I mean, you have to take pills constantly. It's so easy to miss a dose, and when you do, your drug levels are all over the place. This is what doctors are talking about when they say poor patient compliance. It's not about being a bad patient, it's a huge pain to keep up with.
So naturally, scientists and engineers saw this problem and thought, there has to be a better way. Their mission? To get us off that roller coaster and onto a smooth, steady path. To create a delivery system that's way more stable and, frankly, just works better.
And the whole family of solutions for this problem goes by a pretty broad name, modified release. Just think of it as a big umbrella covering all sorts of cool tech designed to stop that flash flood and get super precise about controlling how and when a drug gets released in your body.
Yeah, so modified release isn't just one magic bullet. You can see here how it branches out into a few different strategies. For what we're talking about today, we're going to focus on this branch right here, controlled release. That's the stuff designed to make a medicine last for a good long while.
So the goal is pretty easy to understand, even if it's super hard to pull off. We want to turn that flash flood into a nice, steady, gentle stream. Kind of like a slow drip system for a plant, but, for your body. That's the dream.
Okay, so this is the really fun part. How do they actually build these things? How do you pack all this high-tech engineering into something you can swallow? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. All right, method number one. We'll call this one the dissolving overcoat. And honestly, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like.
So what they do is they take the actual drug and wrap it up in this special coating, this polymer membrane. Now, this isn't just any coating. It's designed to dissolve at a very specific slow rate. The medicine can't get out until that coat is gone. And the genius part is, by just making the coat thicker or thinner, they can perfectly time the release. Simple, but super effective.
Okay, next up is a method that's all about something called diffusion. And to make it easy to picture, we're going to use two analogies, the sponge versus the gumball.
So check this out. On the left, that's our gumball. It's called a reservoir device. You've got the medicine packed in the middle, and it's surrounded by a shell that won't dissolve in water. The only way for the drug to get out is to slowly seep through that shell. Now, on the right, we have the sponge, or a matrix device. In this one, the drug isn't in a core. It's mixed all the way through the material, like fruit in a fruitcake. As your body's fluids soak into the sponge, the medicine slowly leaches out. Pretty clever, right? Two different paths to the same goal.
Okay, I gotta admit, this next one is my personal favorite. The concept is just so elegant, and the engineering is mind-blowing. Let's call it the tiny water cannon.
What you're looking at is an osmotic pump. So the pill has this special shell that lets water in but doesn't let the drug out. And on one end, there's a super tiny hole, usually drilled with a laser. When you swallow it, water from your body naturally gets pulled inside the pill. That's osmosis. This creates pressure that builds up and whoosh, it pushes the medicine out of that tiny hole at a perfectly steady rate. It's not magic, it's just physics, but wow, is it cool.
All right, so we've seen the problem, the roller coaster, and we've looked at some of these absolutely brilliant solutions. So, what does this actually mean? Let's go back to that graph we started with and see the difference.
And here we are. Remember this messy thing? The roller coaster? Those crazy peaks? Those useless valleys? It's just not a good system.
Okay, now watch this. Let's overlay what happens when you use one of these smarter, sustained-release pills. Bam! Look at that beautiful, smooth curve. No more dangerous peaks,
No more useless valleys. The medicine just stays right there in that sweet spot, the therapeutic window, for way, way longer.
And that brings us to the holy grail, the ultimate goal, ideal dosing. A perfectly flat line. This would mean the pill is releasing the drug at the exact same speed that your body's getting rid of it. That means you get a perfectly constant, optimal amount of medicine in your system 24/7. That right there is the pinnacle.
So the science is obviously incredible. But what does it all mean for us, in the real world? Why does this stuff actually matter?
Well, the benefits are huge. It's pretty straightforward. The medicine just plain works better. It's safer because you're not hitting those toxic levels. You get fewer side effects. And maybe the biggest thing for day-to-day life, you have fewer pills to remember, which makes it so much easier for people to actually follow their doctor's orders. It's a win-win-win.
And this tech isn't standing still. It's getting better all the time, which leaves us with some pretty wild questions to think about. What's next? Are we talking about a single pill that lasts for a whole week? Or maybe a month? Or what about the ultimate sci-fi pill, a smart pill that can actually sense when you need medicine and release it on demand? The quest for that perfect dose, it is definitely not over yet.